Hello, everybody. Well, this is me. I'm the face behind the voice of the very few videos that I've posted on here. Uh, well, I wanted to address a few things. Things have been kind of quiet on my end. I haven't really been posting much to my Instagram, um, and it's nothing going on badly. I'm actually in the process. I've been doing some vacationing, seeing some old friends and some family that I haven't talked to in a long time. And over the past week, I got to go on an amazing vacation back to Nevada, where I come from. I was able to go to the Great Western Steam Up, which was the 150th anniversary of the Virginia and Truckee Railroad. And it was an amazing experience. I haven't had a chance to post any photos that I took to either my Instagram or my Facebook page. It's mostly been on my personal accounts that when I get a chance to sit down and put everything on Instagram and my Facebook page, they'll get there. I just haven't had the time because by the end of the week, spending time back in Nevada, I decided it was time for me to go back home. A little bit about me. I joined the Army in 2009 and I left Nevada. And I briefly took a couple visits back, not since 2013. And I didn't want to go back for a variety of reasons. However, my recent trip, I was able to reconnect with some family, and there were some revelations of things that I wasn't aware of. I learned that I had rose-colored glasses because I was the baby of the family. I was the baby. My older brother and my older cousin. They were kind of like the first son, the second son, and I was the baby. Anyways, there was a lot that I didn't really even realize was going on until way older into my adult years. And it is what it is. And so there's a couple of things that are factoring into my decision. One of the first things is, well, namely my aunt and my family there. I haven't seen them in, well over 10 years, some of them even longer than that. And it's partially my fault, because, I joined the army and I said I'm going to go be my own man and I'm going to do my own thing, blaze my own path. And well, it was definitely not the path I expected it to turn out to. And now, you know, once I got out of the military, there was some, health issues that popped up that I was trying to deal with, and I had to get a deal with the VA for my, disability rating. And once I got my stuff sorted out, I've gotten back on my feet ish. You know, um, it it's time to go home. When I first got back from Afghanistan. I show you pictures of where I was and where I'm from, and I mean you could almost couldn't tell the difference between the two places. So I didn't want to go back for various reasons, and yet the past week it was almost like every sign was pointing to go back to Nevada. Um, the train event was amazing. Getting to go see the old VNT engines that haven't been united again, for like well over 100 years. It was something special. It was something super special. And getting to actually walk up and touch and see the Reno in person, it was a weird um, emotion for me because it's, on the surface, you look at it as a rational adult human being and you go, oh, it's a big bunch of metal that, it's a machine, it's a piece of equipment. However, it 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 really caused me to tear up a little bit, and it wasn't because of the engine itself. I mean, to a degree it was, but a lot of it has to do with the past 10 years that I've been dealing with the VA. I really really thought I was going to be lost for a very long time, and I thought I would never come out of where I had been. And over the course of the past couple of years, I have come so far from where I was, in 2016, 2017, when I thought the floor was literally going to fall out from underneath me. I have some very, very good friends. They're dear friends. They're friends that you can't replace. Friends you can't replace. And many of them did a lot for me over the past couple of years. They've helped me out of financial spots. They've helped me with amazing, surprising events and memories. And you know, I never thought that I would find myself in a position where I'm not stressing over my bills. I'm not stressing over my health care. I'm not stressing over a lot of things that many of us take for granted when we're younger. And and so I've learned a lot over the past couple of years. And being back in Nevada felt very much like I was. You ever play a video game and you got to start out your low level, whatever, and you play through the game and you level up your character and it gains experience and points and whatever, and then you go back to that original starting point and it was like you discover things that were not unlockable until now, and the trip to Nevada really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I have there that I didn't think I had as a you know trying to do my own thing, my own name, my own life. Because for a long time there, I felt like I was totally alone. Quite honestly, and um, I made it through. I made it through all of that. It kind of tickled me the other day. Uh, I had an initial plan when I got done taking care of things in Florida. I would come back to Kentucky for about 3 years. Chill out for a little bit, relax, catch my breath, as it were, and then I'd head back to Nevada. I did not expect, the past 2 3 years of chilling here in Kentucky, I've gotten comfortable. I don't want to say complacent, but I've gotten comfortable. I've got very, very good friends here. Friends that mean the world to me. Friends that have been here for me every day ever since, we met. Several of them have gone above and beyond what it means to be a true friend. And there's a small's not the right way to say it. there is a there is a significant portion of me that I don't want to leave because I have grown. You know, I have spent a real third of my life in Kentucky. I only was in the Army for 4 years, and of those 4 years, I spent one of it in Afghanistan. So, I mean, Kentucky has unintentionally become a very, um, what's the word I'm thinking of? It has become a very keystone portion of my adult life. And so I feel very comfortable here. I have some very, very good friends that I don't want to leave, and it does, weigh on me a little bit because I don't I don't like the idea of distance. You know, it's been a long time since I've had to, how do I put this? You know, you have some very good people in your life, and it's important to make every moment with them matter because you don't know when the winds will change and it's time for your path to take you a different direction, and those people you've made connections with that you don't want to sever inevitably will be severed. I mean, it's not like I'm saying I'm never going to talk to my friends here ever again, because that's by all means not the point. However, distance does um, I don't want to say closed doors or whatever. It's not like I'm telling my friends here goodbye. I'm never gonna see you again, because who knows what the future holds. If things go with the way I hope they do in the future, especially with my YouTube channel, um, I'll have the ability to, I'll drive back out here to Kentucky to see my friends. I got very good friends here that I do not want to say goodbye to, and I don't think saying goodbye is even the right word, because there are people that I have in my life that I have not seen in over a decade. And yet they are still very important people in my life, and I haven't lost touch with them. And in fact, we stay in good contact. It may not be the best. I'm not really a let's pick up the phone and talk every single day kind of person. But there are a few people who I make the effort to at least try to reach out to, or at least them reach out to me back and forth one way or the other. But I know it's time for me to move. It's time for me to leave Kentucky. It is time for me to return home. Returning home will also give me the opportunity to volunteer down at the Nevada State Railroad Museum. In fact, I filled out a membership and got my paperwork in the mail yesterday, which was really cool. They sent me a packet and all the goodies inside. And, that right there is opening a door that I never thought would ever be a thing to begin with. So, and we're going to go back down a rabbit hill, whatever. So while I was at the Virginia and Truckee Railroad getting to see the old locomotives and everything, they are working on restoring the Reno. So here's a little bit about the Reno. The Reno was one of their most popular locomotives. It was basically their main express engine, and they finally the Virginia and Truckee was able to have her brought back home to Virginia City, where she is currently being under a restoration project. I was extremely lucky enough to be able to see not just the Reno, but I was able to see the tender, which is the fuel car, you know, the fuel car. But the tender was separated, which is actually, this is funny because I've got the perfect representation right here. Well, other than the color was it's all black now. But anyways, these two pieces were separated because they were working on this one right here to improve, to just repair the damages and fix what they can, and what they can't, they're replacing and making like new. And since I'm just playing with my trains right here and having this conversation, I wanted to show something else that's funny. So this is my repaint of the Reno locomotive. It's obviously not perfect. It's as close as I am aware of to the colors that I could use for the era that I'm painting her. But what I found was interesting, and if you go through my photos, you'll see this. So in the Reno, in my model here, you'll notice there's a fender wheel right there, right? Well, this one's missing because what happened is at some point when I got settled here and started playing with my trains again, um, the fender got caught up in the drive rod and got twisted, and it was affecting the wheel or the movement. So I had to just kind of pull it all out. Ironically, the real life Reno is missing the exact same wheel fender that my model has. To me, that was crazy to see, just because it was just one of those moments that helped build up that emotional moment for me. Because, and I'm kind of swerving in and out of my story here, being able to get to this point, I never thought I would be to this point. I had a dream, not a dream, daydream, I guess you could call it. I was deep in the depth of my depression. And one of the few things that made me really happy was trains. Because, as much as I love Star Wars, behind me, um, they're not the first thing that I really got into. And when I kind of walked away from my costuming club uh, shenanigans, slowly Star Wars has been kind of being. Oh, what? Nebula's talking to me. I've been kind of, I don't want to say growing out of Star Wars, but I'm just, at this point, there's not much that they can do that's really going to get me super excited. So, I'll enjoy it while it is, and that's all it is. It's not what it used to be to me anymore. And so I had to find a new hobby. And I didn't know what that was going to be. And at one point, I thought, you know what? I used to love trains as a kid. It was just something I used to enjoy immensely as a child, a small child. Before the Star Wars, before the dinosaurs, before anything else, I was insanely in love with trains because I was able to watch them growing up. And so I decided to start watching some YouTube videos about them. And they really brought me out of that darkness and gave me something to cling on to. And so I eventually got into the model railroading hobby and everything. But oh, Nebula, you poor thing. Um, I never thought that I would be able to visualize my overall daydream. I would very much like to build a huge uh, model layout of the VNT Railroad. And where else can I find all the information that could ever be possibly used than living back home in Nevada? And it is just opportunities that I never thought that I would get to. When I was struggling with the VA, when I was struggling with my back, when I was struggling with my PTSD, when I was struggling with my depression, I never thought that I would be able to go, hey, I finally, I'm not saying I made it by no means, but I had told myself all I needed was some stability. I just need some solid ground that I could stand on and put my life together. And what's funny is I had told myself I was only going to do 3 years of kickback to Nevada. Well, here we are, 3 years later of me getting back to Kentucky just about, and I'm headed back to Nevada. The fact that it's happening outside of what my plan was, because my plan was to go back to Nevada, but then I got comfortable and didn't want to go because I've made my friends here. I love my gym that I go to. I've made some very good connections with the people here that I care deeply about. But everything inside of my body from head to toe is telling me it's time to go back to Nevada. I don't have an explanation for it. If I did, I had to really question myself. Is this something that I want to do? And at first I thought I'd wait until next year, you know, but then I was like, no, no. If I can do it, I want to do it before the holidays, before it gets cold, before all that. And then next thing I know, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it. Go home, pack up everything, and just get out ASAP. And well, here we are doing it. And I was very concerned with my decisions. You know, um, this is going to be the first time that I'll be traveling the country like this, where I won't have somebody nearby. And you know, it's a long 2,000 miles, and it's going to be an interesting ride because I'm going to have two cats with me. And yeah, it's just going to be a long what am I saying? Long drive. And, I can get around, I can do stuff, but not quite as well as I used to. And, sorry about this. I had to check something real quick. So, as I was saying, I'm going to have the cats with me, and I'm going to be going across this country with everything I have in the back of a U-Haul trailer behind my truck. I didn't think I would ever be able to drive again while I was down in Florida because I quit driving because my eyes had gotten bad and my neck and my back and everything was too bad. And I've gotten my LASIK surgery done, which means I can see good. I can see better than ever. I have never seen as well as I have now. And with controlling my diet and losing some weight, it has made being able to drive feasible again. I never thought I'd be able to do it, but I'm doing it. And I never thought that I would be walking around without my walker, and I'm doing it. I mean, I still got my cane, and I still do need to use my walker, because, I mean, can't always have my scooter with me. I mean, and sometimes, when I went to the Virginia and Truckee, I used my walker everywhere. And I had to push myself because ain't nobody gonna carry me. I'm a big fella for being so short. I'm a pretty heavy fella. No one's carrying me. I have to do everything myself for the most part. I have friends who do help me when and where they can. But at the end of the day, when the lights are off and the doors are shut, it's just me by myself. And I do everything I can the best I can. So going cross country is extremely intimidating to me at this moment because I'm not who I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm not young and spry. And, however, I am seasoned and I am a little older and I got a little bit more, you know, wisdom under my belt. Excuse me. Drink your water, kids. Drink water. Um, so it's intimidating, and it has definitely been getting into the back of my mind because there's there's a limit to how much I can push myself, and if I get into a bad situation, God forbid, whatever it is, you know, um, I ain't got nobody I can call that's 10, 15 minutes away. So this is a huge leap of faith that I've reached the point in which it's time to go home. And there's a couple of reasons why. I've got a vehicle that I can depend and rely on for the trip. I have basically taken care of just about everything that I really ever set out to do here in Kentucky. I joined the Army, I got stationed here. I was the leader of the local chapter of a Star Wars group and, charity stuff. I attempted college. I did get myself a credible. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna guess it was one of the cats. Um, an actual credible associate's degree, something I didn't get before. This one I can actually do something with. Not that I'm planning to. But I've gotten that stability that I was just asking for. Like I just need some stability to figure out what to do with my life, and it's time for me to go home. I have doors open there that I never occurred to me 10 years ago. And I wasn't in a position that I could take advantage of those doors because like I said, it's like going back to an early part of a video game and realizing, "Oh wow, there is so much more available here than I thought there was." I have resources in Reno through various family members that I can tap into to help bring this grand vision that I have in my head to life. So going forward, I'm gonna probably just wrap this up here because what am I going at? Oh wow, we're 24 minutes in. Cool. So we'll wrap this up. It's a nice 30-minute ramble of mine and little I can share it all over and try to kind of let everybody know that there's going to be a big change, and one of those big changes is I am packing up and leaving. So my amazing you know uh workspace, I'm going to be moving it and bringing it all, taking it all apart, and everything's got to come apart, and then everything's got to go into a trailer, and then I got to drive it all back to Nevada, which is hilarious because I thought I would be driving stuff from Nevada back out to Kentucky initially, and that's just not the way the cookie crumbled. Apparently, it is actually crumbling in a completely different direction. But that's fine because I feel it's just time to go. Everything that I've from the moment that I landed in Reno to the moment I left, everything was like pieces had fallen into place right where they needed to be. The emotional uh what's the word I want to use here? There were emotions that I had not expressed in a very long time that I was able to finally get out. There was a complete sense of peace that I have not felt. And oh, you cats better not be fighting. Um, there was a sense of peace that I had not felt in a very, very long time. And so it's time for me to go home. Hold on a second. Ladies, where are you? In the bedroom. Excuse you. Can we not? Can we say we did and not? Janet, get out of there. Come on. Shoo. Out of the closet. Oh, hiss. These two need to get it together because in just about a week and we'll say 2 weeks just to keep things vague. They're going to be crammed together in the we're the best friends cage, so that way we can all go home to my new place in Nevada. So, well, I think that is as good a that is as good a way to end this episode of Dar's Customs Ramble. And, I just want to take one final moment to say this to the fellas out there and gals who deal with the VA. If I'm really wanting to reach out to veterans for the most part here, but don't give up with your fight with the VA. You signed a contract to give your entire life if the moment ever came. And you may not think they took your life when you came home. Because you came home all 10 fingers and toes, baby. You're good, you're walking, you're talking, whatever. But there are those of us who came home with all 10 fingers and toes, and we are walking and we are talking. But there's very much parts of us that did not come home. And those parts of us will never come back. And we have to learn to accept them. We have to learn to work around them. We have to learn to be as aware of these issues to alleviate our stress over the grief of losing a part of who we are. If you choose not to get your due benefits from the VA, you're not saving someone else $100 to go to their benefits. Fight with every ounce of grit that you've got, because the VA doesn't want they don't want to give you what you're due. You have to work for it, and you have to earn it, just like everything else you had to earn and work for in the military. It sucks, but those are just the cold facts of life. If I can help you, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I don't know what I can do, but I can at least point you in the direction of the resources that helped me. If you just need to talk, you can go ahead and message me. Um, but yeah, keep putting one foot in front of the other, because if you do, next thing you know, you'll be looking back at, oh wow, how far have I come? Look at where I was to where I am now. How did I get here? It, you don't believe it until it's here. You know, I got out of the Army and I thought I'd never be going back to Nevada. Here we are, baby. We're getting ready to pack up and load out, and hopefully the next chapter, which I'm really excited about, will will be as exciting as I am anticipating it to be. Because it feels to me that with every day growing closer, the there's almost this pioneering spirit inside of me catching light, light and fire. I know that's real hokey sounding, but it's just the truth of the matter. That's just what I feel inside of me right now, and that helps me come to terms that I think and believe, and I believe and I know that this is the right choice, that this is the right path. I have family to return to. I have opportunities and resources that are available out there, and I got to go for it, because I'm in my late 30s. There's only so much time left in the world, and we don't know when that last day comes. So always put one foot in front of the other, and always keep chasing your dreams, because you never know when you might actually get an opportunity to really really chase after them, and actually have the opportunity to make them become a reality. So, with that, I'm going to wrap this up and hit the stop record, because I got to get back to packing. So I will record another video soon, kind of try to give an update on what the direction of everything is going to be, because um, I think I'm going to try to vlog all this. Let me know down in the comments area. Do you want me to do that? Do you even care? I have a lot to get done, and once I pack the computer away, all I'm going to have is the phone, which I'll still be able to post videos and stuff, but they just won't be as nice as this, long unedited crap that I do on my computer, which is probably the same that I'll be doing on my phone. So if you're interested, let me know down in the comments, and the like buttons and the share buttons and all those buttons on all the different platforms, because I'm going to share this around. And yeah, I will try to keep you all as posted as possible. And once I get a chance to really kind of post some stuff to my Instagram, because I want to get a lot of those photos from uh, the Great Western Steam Up. I really want to get those out on my Instagram and Facebook, but I just haven't had the time to do it because I'm going this way. So, all right, adios amigos. Catch you on the next record.